retard, retard, retard.
So, how are you doing? Welcome everyone. Merry Christmas. Welcome, welcome. Let me just get the volumes right. Here we go. And Lee, yeah, mir geht's auch gut, danke. Doing good. And big hello to MAN, who's flying along, I think. I think it's him there. Thank you much for joining. On YouTube side, I do welcome Andreas, and then Vaccaro, Gabriel, and MT Cross. Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing fine. One more thing, I want to open up the stream labels, and then I think I'm good to go. So, did everyone have a lovely Christmas? Crispness, I should say. Who else is here? We've got Alex, hello. Sapphire Wave, hello to you. Vuling. Hello, hello, Mark. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Yes, I missed this up. And of course, a big thank you. I guess I didn't have the sound alerts on at that point. Let me just replay that, Lee.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment.
Blimey, it's loud here.
Thank you.
Is that FS realistic?
BB711 beloved BB711 beloved BB711 beloved BB711 beloved.
Let me get a round of applause for that. Oh, hang on. Let me change the output here so that we can hear the applause. And there we go. Lee, vielen Dank. Lee, thank you so much for 31 months, it says
Welcome
here.
Welcome aboard the Captain
but
Black
we know
Box
it's been
Twitch
longer than that.
Subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Next in line, coming in with...
I hope you had a lovely Christmas.
Yes,
Looking
I did.
forward to another year of high level of edutainment. You stream, we subscribe, smile.
Thank you, Voyager. Moin. Ich hoffe auch, du hattest ein schönes Weihnachtsfest. Yeah, I hope you all had a lovely Christmas time. I certainly did, but as always, much too much food. But yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely food. And lots of presents. Well, more for the children, but that's normal, isn't it, these days? Right. So yeah, this is payware. It's from Barelli. And I've been told that the freeware is actually nice as well, so you don't really need to get the payware one. I have been to Torino in real life many, many times, but that was more during the time when I was flying the 737. So once I got to the A320 family, it was actually moved over to different companies. So that's why at a later stage I did not fly that much. Brennell, hello to you. Brennell, yeah, next fast incoming, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Oh wow, that's interesting. Hang on, what's happened to my FPS counter there? 99 FPS. That can't be right. Hang on. No, because I'm pretty sure I have yeah, I don't have frame generation on. I've got DX11 TAA. So I think the counter is wrong. That should be more like 50 FPS. But let me check that real quickly. Let's start Riva Tuner. Do that. On screen more. Yeah, it's 50. So the NVIDIA counter is showing nonsense. All right, cool. FS realistic is too loud. Okay, let me change that. should be quieter now. Cool. Oh, hang on. We've got the option to go do outside check, don't we? What was the key again for that? First person. Toggle button. Toggle button. Toggle button. Which button shall I choose? Oh, it's clear. No, that's not it. Hang on. What button isn't mapped? Oh god. Oi! What's this? What happened to my aircraft? Hold on. How do I get out of it? Right. Let's see. Let's see it from this view. Bird strike. No, that's just from the outside view then. Oh, because we have the raccoon mask. Ah, I guess it's messing up the raccoon mask. Alright. Wow, isn't that really sensitive? Camera movements. Sorry, I need to go at camera movements are really quick. Sounds volume, mouse sensitivity. Let's try that again. That is so weird. But that's still a bit too fast. Camera movements, mouse sensitivity. Height, mouse wheel. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. I can make myself taller by using the mouse wheel. Okay. Hey, Milton, how you doing? Hope you had a nice Christmas. Gabriel, what do you mean it's not the mask? Well, I don't know what it's doing, but that is a bit weird. Right. Oh, really? Brandon, well, get a new PC. Right, I'm just going to go do a quick outside check. As always, make sure the alpha vanes are good, the static ports are clear. Anyone know why? What? That's still loud. So normally that would be closed if the temperature is below 7 degrees Celsius. That's the intake valve for the equipment cooling. So here we check all the lines are good, nothing hanging off, no leaks, no hydraulic leaks. Look at the light bulbs, make sure they're not shattered or glass not shattered. Make sure that the pins are taken out. Parking brake set apparently, so that bulb there shows you, that's normally amber. That shows you that park brake is set. So there's also a little test button here. So when the parking brake is released, that light is off. I can press that button there, and that tests the light bulb to make sure that the light bulb isn't broken. Because if it's broken, then the pushback driver or the ramp agent can't see whether or not we've actually set the parking brake. It's a bug from FS Realistic. Okay. Regarding the... Oh, come on, Brandel. Sure you can. Come on. You can save... oh, you saved up some money. Right. Peter tubes as well. Same thing. Make sure that they're free. Don't look damaged. The intakes are free. Nothing clogged up. A TAT probe. Same thing. Make sure it's all good, clean, static port. Radome, make sure the radome doesn't have a big crack in here. So it's aligned properly. The latches are closed. No damages from bird strikes. Alright, static port is clear. Same thing again, another pitot tube. That could be an icing detector as well. Right, again, for the tires, we make sure there's no cuts. There's no visible layers, so we still have a good tread. I love the ambient sounds. Really nice. Right, so statics are good, alpha vane is good, there's no big dents or holes around the cargo doors. That's good. Make sure all the warning placards are clearly readable, visible. Right, nothing obstructing intake of the pack cooling system. Yeah, all the latches closed, reverser doors closed. Now, first flight of the day, we have to kneel down. Right below there, make sure all these latches, the cowl latches, are closed and locked. Spin some horrible YouTube videos out. What happens if they're not? I showed that in a second, Reynolds. Since the nose gear doesn't have brakes, you won't see any brake wear pins there. Right, fan blades, just to make sure that there's no dents or cracks or you know, anything visible. No bird strike remains. No ice on the fan blades, that sort of stuff. Make sure the thing's called PT2 probe is not damaged. Then the acoustic panels, make sure everything's properly aligned, nothing broken off. Intake, no ice. Again, no bird strikes. Alright, panels closed, reverser door closed. Right, then we come to the front here of the wing. Make sure slats are fully retracted, no bird strikes, no leakages, no ice. Here we see that the nav lights are on, strobe lights are out. We've got 4 static discharger at the wingtip fence. There's another 5, 4 at the aileron, 1 more here. Flat bearings, or flat track bearings, all good, nothing damaged. Another static discharger there. Same thing here. Flaps are retracted. Again, no leakages, hydraulic fluid, fuel, etc., etc. Then we've got another couple of static dischargers, flap tracks, all good. So there's 2 sets of brake wear pins, Branold, on each brake disc. So one will be here, and the other one for the other brake disc will be here. That's at the back. Make sure that all of the anti-skid lines, hydraulic lines, everything's looking good, nothing hanging off, no leaks. The brake fan covers, all good. General inspection of the tires, again, no cuts, no visible threats, etc., etc. And there's another brake wear indicator on the front here, Branold, so that's where they are located. Right, here we make sure on the strut everything's removed as of the pins are removed for the landing gear. Windmill, yeah, Milton, yeah, it's windmill. Oh yeah, slick one, absolutely, yeah. Right, same thing here. Just make sure all the lines are in place. There's nothing leaking out. Normally, if you see a puddle of hydraulic fluid on the bottom here, you wouldn't really walk underneath it because, again, the hydraulic fluid is acidic and apparently causes cancer. So, yeah, trying to avoid getting in contact with that. Right. Below here, yeah, general inspection. There's refill doors here for the hydraulic system. So here, for example, ground hydraulic connection yellow. On the other side, it will be green. Yeah, there's a bit missing there, and there's a blue hydraulic system. So that's blue. That's green, yellow, green hydraulic refill. Cargo doors, yeah, no dents, no holes, nothing there. No seals looking out. looking good. The bulk door closed. And again, we just check for, you know, general fuselage stuff that, you know, has dents which haven't been looked at yet. Outflow valve, it's open. It'll close during takeoff. So that's good. The toilet and water servicing panel there. Make sure everything's closed and latched. What else do we have here? The stabilizer, obviously, again, check no icing, no damages. Quite often on these, strangely enough, on the leading edges of the stabilizer, you often see little dents. And that's usually caused by hail. So whenever some colleagues take the aircraft too close to a thunderstorm cloud and you get into hail, the leading edge of the stabilizer is a lot more sensitive than the wing slats area. So make sure we have 5 static discharges here. Elevators looking good, nothing hanging out, nothing dripping. Here you got the APU inlet. Let's close because the APU is not running. Here the APU servicing doors, make sure all they are latched. And there is normally a little placard here, a red placard, to make sure that the extinguisher bottle hasn't discharged from the APU. Hey Tishka and Barone, hello. Right, and then the same thing on this side. I'm not going to go through all of it again. It's symmetrical, so it'll be the same on this side. So there we go, and that means we would be finishing our outside check. Now then, let me see. I do want to... There were some good updates out for the... for FS2 crew. So let me see that I can do that. Right, so what's the opening in the middle between the gears? The opening between the gears. Yeah, so these are the pre-cooler, so the pack pre-cooler exhaust. So the air that goes in here for the pack system to cool the pack air is, so that's one intake there for the
parking
left
brake.
Oh, for crying out loud. And so I have the intakes, these on the front here, and these are the exhausts, right, for the pack system pre-cooler air. What happens if the sharklets break off, Milton? They would not normally break off, because the force required to break them off is would be tremendous. But if they are damaged due to a bird strike, or let's say you know, you had a wind tick strike somewhere with another aircraft or a vehicle,
Roger.
That sort of stuff. And Mr. King, right. Good evening. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect regarding textures, but I mean, come on, you know. Again, you can moan about literally anything. I would personally not try to get, you know, worked up with these things. Yeah, taxi accidents, that sort of thing. Now, what I can tell you is that if you have a, which I've had, I would say 3 or 4 times in my career, that a ground vehicle strikes one of the flat tracks, and they can become damaged. Now, if they can't be repaired, you can actually dismantle part of it, and there is something called a CDL, so configuration deviation list, and you would look into that, and you could probably fly with one of these missing. For the passengers, it looks somewhat weird because they would see the spindle from the flaps. So part of the mechanism for the flap system would be visible. And so that's, I guess it could, cause some discomfort for some people that have, afraid of flying or something.
I'm out for the walk around.
Thank you. Fear of flying. That's just for the cosmetics part, but for the aerodynamic part, obviously, it would create some more drag because the air is not so streamlined here, and you have some mechanical stuff hanging out or pointing out. So you have an increase in trip fuel and some performance calculation corrections. But apart from that, it would be possible to fly, but that would all be in your configuration deviation list. So, where's my jetwave? Okay. Oh, there we go. Ha! Magic! Magic! So, let's do this, init request. Yeah, Ronald, you have to realize, especially, the 737 MAX, it has kind of an X kind of form regarding their winglets. So definitely, they are prone to be hit more often, absolutely. 777, good evening, how are you doing? Good. Okay, so guys, that's one thing I want to talk about. The other thing is Pamplona. A big thank you to MAN, who made the suggestion flying to Pamplona. And when he mentioned that, I thought, yeah, he's right, because there were some interesting facts about Pamplona Airport. And I remember that I'm allowed to fly there as a captain, but it's a Class B airport. And so I had a closer look at the instruction file that we have, and it has some interesting stuff. So you can find this on the Discord channel and this as well. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to fly the circling approach, anybody that's up for it. Let's see what the weather is at the moment. Pamplona, well, there we go. So 250 at 3. And let's pretend that the air flowing through the valley is actually causing a lot more tailwind on final. So we're going to fly the circling approach 3-3. Now, people will probably say, hey, what you mean? There is there's an instrument approach for runway 33. Why don't we fly that? Well, so you can see there's only ILS approaches for runway 15, and there is one VOR approach runway 33. Now, that looks interesting, right? And I'm sure Brennell would love to fly that. But be aware, you need an airport qualification. And so it says it needs 2 approaches, one completed with landing and another one with interrupted landing below the minimums, in real flight, under VMC, or in a simulator with appropriate display approved by the competent authority. So either real life flying or simulator approaches is required to fly the VOR approach. So that's what we're not going to do. We are going to fly the Zulu approach 15, and then we'll break off to the east and fly a circling approach. And that will be done in 3,600 feet circling pattern altitude. And the pattern will be looking approximately like this. We're going to be flying over the city, join a pattern around 2.5 mile offset. There's a lake there, and there's a ridgeline there. So you can orientate yourself to be a little bit south of the lake, and maintaining the 3,600 feet. That ridgeline is round about 2,000 feet. So once you get close to that, you can start your descent the idea is, well, the thing is this. So Milton, obstacle clearance altitude is given by the authorities for an airport, for an approach, and the minimums are then maybe sometimes increased by the operator. So you could have an OCA of, let's say, 200 feet above the ground. So a height 200 feet above the ground. But the operator will say, you know what? Because the speciality of the airport, we're going to increase the minimum to 50 feet above the OCA. So OCA is official from the authority in the airport, and then a minimum, operator minimum, may differ from that. Never lower, but it can be higher. Daylight, Andreas. Because nighttime, I don't think the circling would be approved at nighttime.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Thank you. OCA is 1,000 feet level flight? No, that's something else. That's MCA. That's minimum clearance altitude, I think you're referring to. Yeah, so you have OCH, OCA, and you have MDA, MDH. You had an echo. Yeah, that was my trusty first officer, who somehow has a very similar voice than I have. So, okay, guys. So that's what we're going to do today. A nice little challenge. We'll talk about some specifics during the flight, what to look out for, and again, these two are published for on my Discord channel in the announcement channel, and of course are for flight simulation use only, not intended for real-world flying, obviously. Cool. Oh yeah, and there's no stars. In case you are wondering why you don't see any stars, there is no stars in Pamplona. So we're going to expect the standard approach, and there's also no radar coverage over Pamplona. So it'll be a standard VR, standard approach out of Pamplona VOR, followed by the ILS Zulu 15, and then we'll do the circling. Yeah, I don't know if we have control later on. Right now, Milano radar is not covering. It's not covering Torino. So as far as I can see, there's no VATSIM here at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Right. So that's all done. Departure-wise, so the flight plan gives us weather. Yeah, good weather for the circling as well. Shouldn't be an issue. Bilbao, the alternate airport, looking fine at the moment. Mild wind. Good ceilings, all good. And here we got 8 kilometers, no significant cloud. Should be a beautiful departure with the Alps in the background there. Absolutely beautiful. No tower, no. I saw that in the V pilot. So when you double click the center, you get infos. So it says Milano radar below flight level 195, covering Linate, Malpensa, Bergamo, and
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So, but we are going to have Madrid control. So, guys, Madrid. That sounds bored, yeah. So, Madrid control is online. Be aware, guys, that when you approach the Madrid border, they normally would expect you around level 170 to get to Pamplona. So, plan your descent to be around, yeah, 170 when you get to the border of Madrid. No, Brennel, we're not allowed to do that, no. Good flight time. is an hour and 20 minutes, so we do have a bit of time en route to talk through stuff. Right. So we called Windmill 711. Oh, I totally forgot to change today's info regarding what we're doing today. So we are flying. So we're going to fly to Pamplona, and then we're going to change the aircraft, which normally would not be able to do in real life. We're going to hop in. Into the 737. There was an update for the PMDG, but even more interesting is that FS2 Crew has published their app now also for PMDG 737, and so that's what I want to try out there. So today, let's check the command. No, that's not right. Hang on. Oh, I probably did that with YouTube. Okay, so we'll check here. Hold on. Christmas is gone over today. There we go. That's the program for today. Thank you very much. No, I'm broke, TV. I'm broke. There's no more giveaways. Right, so 14 Kosenex. Have you been to Malmö Airport in real life? No, I have not. No. Strange, isn't it? Cruise, I think we requested 340. And we are going to enter the weights from the flight plan. So what time is it here in the sim? It is 30. Let's do 1400 UTC departure. So 1400 update. So there we go. That's the current weather, 1025. Let's change that. That's good. And I'm gonna open up the chat here. The weather is live, I think. Yeah, live weather, that's fine. It's yellow, so the airport is yellow, okay. Hey, Tomix Air, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Right, so load aircraft, we'll do it instant. And then let's start the APU. That's all done, that's fine. That's good, that's good. Impatient pilot, who, me? Me impatient? Never. Ooh, that's a very heavy aircraft. 58.8 and 31.4. Block fuel 5.1. Right, and then we've got the. Oh yeah, sorry. Somebody mentioned. Did you see the 747 diverting to Chicago because of an onboard laptop fire? Yes, I did see that, and it's interesting. Oops. it's interesting because I actually hold on. I forgot to connect the camera for the joystick. It's probably not going to work. Yeah, I thought so. Because normally I would have to restart OBS, which I can't do now, obviously. Yeah, so this is one of the scenarios that we practice very often. Oh, it's working. Oh, cool. That actually did work. Nice. And so it's a pretty standard scenario, having a laptop fire in one of the bins. Kabelsalat. Yeah, I have lots of Kabelsalat. Not for eating though. Right. So they dealt with it in a really good manner, very professional, as expected. But in the end, they had to divert because I'm not sure if passengers felt sick or some of the crew felt sick, but they had to do a safety landing in Chicago. MAN, I sent them to you on your Discord. And they're either on your personal file or the announcement channel, where today's stream was announced. Perfect. Hello, Black Box. Peculiar question, but do you give your AME your private medical history, or leave that only your private geopractic? Well, I mean, so I do my yearly checkups at my home base. So my company only gets data regarding whether or not I have the medical or not. They don't get any detailed issue, mentioned. So that's in Germany. That's very strict. Regarding what your employer or what anybody will find out about your health. Good. Departure route. Let's go through this. So we have to go via Ixusa, and normally we know that Italy has some more complicated departure procedures. Not complicated in terms of flying, but complicated because of procedures. So, airport, there we go. Right, we're going to depart 36. Taxi out is going to be very short, so that's not an issue. And then for departure, let's have a look. So often it'll be a solo departure, Torino. Let's have a look here. There we go. So it's the Ixusa 9 Lima, it seems. So initially, you can see here, for example, that the Ixusa 9 Lima starts at Torino Airport and then leads to Ixusa. So that's our exit fix. So we now need to find a initial departure that brings us to Torino. And there we have the Torino 9 Alpha. So we expect the Torino 9 Alpha, runway 36 to Torino, and then the Ixusa 9 Lima. So that's what we'll enter in the MCD. Hey, so what's up? No Luigi? No, not today. And Amantha, hello to you. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Hope you all had a nice Christmas, guys. I know there's no EFB yet in the 737, yeah. It sucks, but hey. There are worse things in life. Right, I think we have 9 degrees, it says here. There's another thing. Hang on, where's my... There is a... button. No, oops, that's not it. Where's my... Ah, there we go. That gives me a nice indication as well. 8 degrees it says there. All right. Cool. So departure. We go departure 36, Torino 9 Alpha, and then we go Ixuzi 9 Lima. Insert. Tuning Johnny. Good evening to Hamburg. Greetings. Moin. What's Ischke? Well, no, I don't know why they kind of did that, but so for the approach, ILS-15 via Pamplona. That's pretty straightforward. So we scroll through the routing now, make sure everything's correctly stowed. That's correct. So init A page, init B page, alternate fuel. Just checks that the alternate is Bilbao, and the alternate fuel required is 0.9. 0.9, put that in there. Fuel will normalize a little. Oh, I did not take any extra fuel, did I? No, I did not. Oh no, guys, we need more fuel. Yeah, I messed up there. Because it's going to be busy and the missed approach is more than likely. So we'll do that through the MCV here. So I'm going to give myself another 800 kilograms, no, 1,000 kilograms of fuel. So config fuel. So we'll take 6-1. And we'll calculate with that. What's the FO doing? I don't know. He's probably getting bored now. You had 2 emergency landings parallel to the Budapest, 1 Ryan because of fuel leak and 1 Wizz for unknown reasons. Okay, well, it sure is busy, yeah. So 63.4, we'll do config probably 2. Let's see what we get out of it. So 36 dry. No turbo. Anti-ice, well, it's still 8 kilometers. And doesn't really seem to have clouds, so but I mean let's work it with engine anti-ice just as a backup for the calculations. Packs are going to be off. You guys have to remind me later on. We're going to take 9 degrees, 1024, full length, and let's calculate that. Bit of tailwind as normal, so flaps 1. Alright, then we go with flaps 1, flex 67, and down 0.3, 67, and the speeds are 374040. Right. Then we'll have a look at our departure infos. See what we can find. Well, there we go. And it's going to be NADP 1. So 2490, 3990. And the engine acceleration is in 2,500, and we have a special procedure at 3 miles Cassel. So we'll do first of all that 36 with a track of 002. Then we're going to put a.
Whilst we make our final preparations for departure, I would like to introduce you to our safety procedure. Please make sure that your hand luggage doesn't block the aisles or exits by using the overhead lockers or the area under the seats in front of you. Place items as far from possible.
Yes, they did. Yeah. So for COVID, it was obviously packs on, but yeah, they've changed that now.
Space by putting the bags in the lockers sideways.
So 6.1 lock floor there.
Overhead lockers, as these items
so we've got to calculate with 65 tons.
This is for your safety and the safety of those ground.
And then we go right to
Some
Zerlo.
electronic equipment such as games, computing and word processing equipment may interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off.
So there we go.
during
So
takeoff and landing.
initially pretty much the departure route, but we'll continue outbound for engine failure case until we hit that circle, and then we turn right. Oh, sorry. So we go straight out until we hit that circle, we go right, and then we'll go to Zerlo, which is here. Yeah, and you can see the high terrain to the west, right? I mean, it's very close to the Alps here. Cool. Secondary, copy active, in case anything goes wrong. Do a return plan, ILS Zulu 36, no star, no via. And that's preparations done. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
It's so weird hearing my own voice. Right, so we are 320 flying to Pamplona, takeoff runway 36. We are departing the Tango Oscar Papa 9 Alpha initially, followed by the transition Ixusa 9 Alpha. Well, actually, that was the 9 Lima, wasn't it? That was the 9 Lima transition. There you go. And first cleared altitude will be given us by ATC, but we don't have ATC, so we'll go with level 200 because we have to be very high up by Ixusa. So let's go put 200 in there. And we have extra fuel, about a ton, giving us about 20 minutes extra in Pamplona. Taxi out, pretty much straightforward, already briefed that. No hotspots. Engine out, already briefed that as well. Acceleration was in 2,500 feet. Cleanup, we'll climb 4,000, get radar vectors, do an Alice approach runway 36 here. For landing, we'll be below max landing weight. And stop margin for the takeoff, plenty. Long runway, so no problems. Threats, well, we have high terrain around the airport, some misty weather, so just make sure that we climb up fast enough. Quickly checking the routing. So yeah, that's the threat really that we have. I mean, the PA comes from FS2 crew. Yeah, nomad piloting. Yeah, like 777 Bob wrote. Hey Bob, I'm not a medical doctor, or I'm not a expert on aviation medicals, etc., etc. So yeah, yeah. So I don't know exactly what you have to give them or what you can hold back. Good, so 401, 404, 417, 417, we have to be above 4,000. That's no issue at all. Torino, then we go 413. 413, 130 above, also absolutely no issue. 414, Ixusa, level 200 above, also absolutely no problem at all with dual engine. Any questions?
No questions.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
6,080 kilograms balanced.
Seat belts.
On.
ADIRS.
NAF.
Baro ref.
QNH 1025. Set and checked.
1025 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Right, so just want to enter the data now in FS2 crew. Weather is good, 1 plus F, runway 36, V2 is 140, VR is 140, V1 is 137, flex temperature is 67. Oh, just to make sure that we actually have the right, because we did change the takeoff weight, didn't we? So let me just recalc that with 65. Because we are a bit heavier now that we've taken on more fuel. So 67 down, it's just a bit higher speeds. The rest is the same, 44, 44, 46.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Hey, the
YouTube
Banji.
channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
The Banji, thank you so much, Moin, or a big thank you to Black Box for another year of amazing live streams and the amount of knowledge you're sharing with us. The Banji, thank you so much for the kind words and thank you so much for your support. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. Transition is in 6,000 feet and thrust reduction is in 2,500. Threats, terrain, thrust reduced, pushback is required. Good, so we set everything. Nice, 22.8 and let's go. Have a look who's around us. Alright, nobody there. Oh, there's lots of aircraft there. Nice. Torino traffic, windmill 711, stand 111, pushing back in Torino.
Torino traffic, 2693, pushing back from position 06 on my exit.
So MN is also pushing, very nice. Nice of him to wait for me. And ever tried run brief? Well, Andreas, people here want to hear the my briefing, just like I do in real life, so that's why I don't bother with the brief button. Before start checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
V1 144, VR 144, V2 146, flex temp
V1
67.
144, VR 144, V2 146, flex temp 67 degrees. Windows.
Closed.
Beacon.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
And Azaro, hello to you. How are you doing? So let's see if that is working. Regarding pushback. Pushback. There we go.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Oh no. I have a feeling that GSX is messing up again my... Because I have reinstalled GSX for the... It is, isn't it? Yeah, I forget that then. Alright, so let's do... Oh! What? Stop! What's happening now? Oh no! You've got to be kidding me. Seriously? Stop it! Oh no.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Now that's how pros do.
Thank you.
I am here, we can depart. My belly has grown twice as much as my ego over Christmas.
Yoda, thank you so much. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
We are ready for engine start. We are ready for pushback and engine start. We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Pushing back.
So, thank you so much, Yoda. Yeah, me too. I had a lot more to eat than I can handle. Thank you so much. Right, now he's not pushing. What is going on? For crying out loud. Are we cleared to start engines? Are we cleared to start engine 2? Parking brake released. Stop pushback. Alright, forget that. I just hope that we are able to taxi in a minute. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Because just remember that GSX can really mess up. Yeah, noticeable steering disconnect. No, please God, no. Is there anywhere a menu in here where we can get rid of that? Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Right, it's gone now. It's gone now. Disregard. So we may be good. Keeping fingers crossed. Maybe I actually managed to trick GSX. Starting engine 1.
Okay.
Right, connect and disconnect. Well, it should be alright, so we're disconnected, so hopefully... What do you mean that was boring?
Ladies and gentlemen, all portable electronic equipment and mobile phones should be switched off as we are now about to start our pre-flight safety briefing. We are now going to take you through our safety procedures and equipment. As this information is for your benefit, we ask you to watch and listen carefully. The safety card in your seat area shows details of escape routes.
Diron, thank you much for the kind words.
It also shows the bracing position.
So yeah, so Diron, yeah, I don't enclose what company I work for.
On the main deck, there are 2 exits at the rear of the first class cabin and 2 at the front and rear of each other cabin. On the upper deck, there is an emergency exit on each side in the middle of the cabin.
Flight control.
In the unlikely event of having to use the
Flight control check.
leave all
Ready.
hand baggage behind
Full up.
and remove high-heeled shoes as they may tear the slide. Please now ensure that your table is folded away, your seat back is upright with the armrest down and your seat belt fastened. The seat belt is fastened and adjusted like this.
Oh, come on.
And unfastened like this. When the fasten
Flight control
seatbelt
check.
signs are on, you must go back to your seat and fasten your seatbelt securely.
Alright, doesn't it?
For your
Full
own
left, full
comfort
right.
and safety, we recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times as visible.
I have to
avoid
start
being disturbed
checklist.
in flight.
Anti-ice.
If
Off.
the cabin air supplies fail,
ECAM status.
oxygen will be
Checked.
provided.
Pitch
Marks
trim.
like this will appear automatically. Stay in your seat and pull a mask towards you. This will open your oxygen supply.
Welcome
the
aboard the
mask over
Captain
your
Black
mouth
Box
and
Twitch
nose like
channel
this,
subscriber
and breathe
experience.
normally.
Yeah,
Can
30%
new
set.
subscribers please make your
Rudder
way to
trim.
the first
Neutral.
class
Do make
cabin,
sure your
where
own
After start
complimentary
checklist
drinks,
completed.
snacks, and
Anyone
premium
else?
flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Your life jacket is underneath or
Hi
beside
BB,
you.
hi chat.
In the event of landing on water, remove the life jacket from its container and pull it over your head. Pass the
Torino
tape around
traffic,
your waist
Windmill
and tie them
711 is
securely in a
taxing
double
to
bow at
the
side.
active 36 in
To
Torino.
inflate, pull the red
Big
top of the
hello,
phone.
big thank you.
The air can be
Hang on.
topped up by using the mouthpiece. There is a
Clear
whistle
left
here
side.
for attracting attention.
Clear right side.
Do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside
So
the
big thank you
aircraft.
to Pale
We will
coming in with
supply life
33
tops for
months.
babies and life jackets for infants.
I hope you're well.
Finally, ladies and
Thank you much,
gentlemen,
MEM.
please study the safety card and take notice of the fasten
My
seatbelt
FO is
sign.
sabotaging me. That's
May
nothing
we
new.
remind you that electrical portable items such as games,
That
computers,
is
and work
completely
assisting
normal.
equipment may interfere with the aircraft systems and must be switched off during takeoff and landing. Portable telephones must
Brake
be
check.
switched off while the aircraft engines are running.
Pressure 0.
As this is a no smoking service, the no smoking signs will remain on for the duration of the flight. Smoking is not permitted at any time whilst on board. If you have any questions, please ask one of the crew. Thank you.
Something messed up again with the FSTL traffic. Seems like it. I don't know why I have just standard liveries now. Guys, is it because I've set in options? Last time I've set... hang on, I'll show you what I mean. Because I have set... is it traffic? Yeah, use generic aircraft model multiplayer. I put that to off. Because that's the reason. Because I've not changed anything. I've not changed anything in vPilot. No, probably not. No. I didn't realize you had to update the VMR file as well. Hey Eternal, hello, how you doing? And Rodrigo, hello. Arco, hello. Yeah, I think... well, I'm going to wait what my moderator, Yoda, says regarding the Embraer. Hey Browns, how you doing? Right, so... taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Check. Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1+F.
Config 1+F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Let's put that on and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Torino traffic, Windmill 711 is lining up departing on runway 36 in Torino.
Set.
Lineup checklist.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Runway 36 confirmed. Takeoff runway confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic. TCAS. Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff.
TARA.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black
Packs
Box
1 and
Twitch
2.
channel subscriber experience. Could
Off.
new subscribers please make
Lineup
your way to
checklist
the
completed.
first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will
Hey,
be
Maybe
served.
Will.
Thank
Welcome
you.
and thank you so much for the 34 months. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it is. It's my twin brother. Right, I have a feeling I have double scenery here for some reason. Because the FPS are actually pretty bad at 46. No idea what's happening here. Ready?
Ready.
Take off.
Check.
Manflex 67 SAS runway auto thrust boom.
Checked. Thrust set.
Torino traffic waiting to land up 3, heading out the runway.
$100 knots.
Checked.
B1. Rotate.
Wow, 20. What's happening? 23 FPS.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Is Microsoft broken or what? What is happening? Blimey. Autopilot 1. No, it's DX11. Oh, that looks beautiful, but... How many do we have in real life? Millions. Disable rolling cache. Well, now it's getting back to 50, so it's okay now.
Packs are on.
Good. Thrust climb, climb, up. Fly toggle GSX2 off. Toggle GSX2 off. What? Hang on. What, do you reckon it's GSX now messing with that? Yeah, it's a new scenery. From Borelli. Symbol. What do you mean the symbol? I'm sorry, Shishka, what symbol? The problem is I can't, the weird thing is, I can't edit the files. Normally when I click on that, I can edit files here. Oh, there we go. But I'm sorry, what you mean? What script where? Yeah, it's not visible in the flow, yeah. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0. Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 061. Now.
Checked. Wow, the scene. Look at that scenery, though. Wow, that is so beautiful. That, I've seen that in real life so many times. No, it could be, you know what, it could literally just be the airport that's so badly optimized. It would not be the first time that I've seen that lately. Wow, that view though. It's holiday season, so the server lag can also be an issue. Okay. Hey Philip, how are you? Avenger, hey. Hey, yeah, that's probably true. Hey Diego, I'm doing well, thank you much for asking. How are you? Alright, 10,000 feet. Wow, look at that. What a gorgeous, gorgeous view. MAN, thank you so much for the suggestion. Look at that. Try the freeware. Yeah, so the thing is, Lilo Pilot, I noticed something else today at other airports, that it is actually a bit laggy. So I don't think it's just the airport. I think there's something deeper problem with Microsoft Flight Sim, it seems. It is, yeah. Yeah, I do like it, yeah. Yeah, the surrounding scenery, look at that. I think that's MAN there. Brilliant. Good, so I need to also update the VMR file. And that VMR file, I guess, is in FSTL, right? Now the question is, where did I install FSTL? Is that in the normal Microsoft folder? Ah, look at that. Whoa. That is so gorgeous. There's the airport. How beautiful. Can you fly from Budapest or Malmö in a stream? Milton, I've already done that. I will need to see when I can fit that in. Zishka says if you have a regular toolbar, there is the GSX logo. If it's active right, this JavaScript is active on my system, that causes lag, especially... Toggle to logo off rail, because there's no showing toggle it on off. But so the problem is this, so I don't have the normal menu bar, right? So I don't know how to interface. I don't know how to get that back, to be honest. Milton, we should be fine. We should be online. The voice pack, no, that's normally comes with it, Flipstar. So that is normally when you buy FS2 Crew, the FENIX version. Okay, let me just let me see. So I want to get rid of that. So let me go. delete that, and then go GSX. Okay. Right, we're level 200. There's no ATC still, so let's go climb up further. Let's go 340. What we had filed. Thrust climb up to 340. Yeah, but you should be able under settings. So go to settings and then go Captain or the FO accent, go to BA male human black box. That is my voice set. And now again the GSX logo. Okay. That will put it into off gray standby. Okay. But it doesn't change, does it? So like this, you mean? Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Jishka. Let's hope it fixes the issue. Thank you so much. Arco things, maybe some lighting bugs or lingering bugs after the last update. Yeah, it could be. You never know. Wow. I mean, is this beautiful or is this beautiful? Man. Is it really? Let's hang on. Hold on. Okay, so that's what you mean, right? So now that is, now that's not grey anymore. Captain Inky, hello to you. Is the Malmö stream? I don't know when I flew to Malmö. It's probably a couple of weeks back. But yeah, have a look. Or maybe just search, if you can search with on YouTube. Just put in the ICAO, because all my YouTube videos are saved according to my ICAO airport list. Landing lights off. Seatbelts off. Let's hope it stays quiet here. Oh, sorry, yes, Vendrith. Yeah, you asked before. My apologies for not answering earlier. So, the add-on that I'm using here is from. Just make sure I have the right name there. It's from FlightSim Factory. It was recommended to me by chat or someone in chat, and I can, for the A320 that is, so the A320 throttle setup, so with the flap lever, the spoiler lever, the detent flaps that I can put into the Bravo throttle quadrant here, it's very good. these things are very sturdy, very strong. Thrust levers have it pretty much feels like the real thrust levers regarding size. The disconnect buttons work. The gates are very nice. Again, and I've exchanged those many times now for other hardware throttle add-ons, and I have not noticed any deterioration in the quality. And I'm not sponsored by that company, right? So I've paid for these myself, and I honestly think they're very, very good indeed. Let's go. Atsu. Cloud Surfer, you have them as well? Nice. And Tapti, nice to see you. Frohe Weihnachten. Hope you had lovely holidays.
We'll soon be passing through the cabin with your meal. On the menu today, we have a variety of dishes.
Right, I need to jot down for a second to get myself a coffee. Oh, look at that! Oh, is that beautiful? My God. That is incredible. Look at that. I should get rid of that Christmas tree, right? Oh, that's gorgeous. Right, before we head into an area with control, although we should be alright, it's just Geneva online at the moment to the north. Now we should be alright. Yeah, so Vendrith, the only thing really I could say that's negative is the high cost for shipping. So depending on where you live in the world, the shipping costs and then the tax on top of that, you know, adds to the price, the total price. But again, if you're into these sort of things and looking for some proper A320 hard-on Bravo Throttle Quadrant hard-ons, then that is definitely a very good one. Dankeschön. And Tapti, thank you so much. Do you use any curves for the Thrustmaster Warthog stick fully linear with the FENIX? Just quickly, I'll show you that. Control options. Even though I shouldn't do this, but because I'm not 100% sure right now what I have. Now there we go. So I've put so pitch axes. That's actually quite a lot. I think normally I have them by minus 30. Minus 30. I'm surprised I've got them by minus 58 at the moment. Interesting. So they're not linear by any means, no. Brennelt, yeah, I know, right? I mean, look at this. Gorgeous. So let's have a look where we are. Hey, Devanji, yeah, I know, right? It's amazing. So quickly look at the route. Yeah, I would go with try minus 30, Pizza Manji. And there's another setting in the config, I think it was, and then controls config. Next page, side stick. There we go. So not a roll. That's a null zone. And there we go. So it says realistic side stick options. So realistic side stick. If you put that to on, the pitch becomes more sensitive. Off, lighter control. You may want to play around with that as well, to see if that gives you a better feel. So for me, as far as I can say, using that off, and then minus 30 is normally, I think, what gives you a good setting. Right, 34,000 feet. Beautiful view here. I will leave you with this view here for a minute. I'm back in, let's say, 2 minutes. If anyone calls, tell them I'm back in a few seconds, alright? So guys, you have control. Don't touch anything. Alrighty, so we've not been beeped at. We're still flying. Well done. Right. I'm gonna do something as well. So guys, I've just thought about it. Control options, that does not make sense. So I don't know when I changed those settings, but I'm gonna put them back at -30. -30, and then one more thing, general options. So that's 150. It's not that these are really high. They are not. Oops. And that's 100. And so I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. Disregard that. Now you feel more safe? Are you sure about that? Right, where are we? We are currently in some more beautiful countryside. just past Grenoble. A pass north of Montpellier, then Toulouse, very nice, and then to Pamplona. Let's check the weather really quickly. Florian says press the numpad 5 to send to the controls, and then the... Well, I don't think I have that on 5, to be honest. Just gonna do that real quickly. Back on again. Yeah, Florian, I don't have numpad 5 modeled to or matched to flight controls. But yeah, it's gone away now. That's fine. Thank you so much. Zishka says, have you checked out the Bilbao scenery? It's kind of hidden since the marketplace only. You to model the word. I know I have a scenery for Bilbao. I'm just not 100% sure. I think I have a freeware one, is it? Or is that maybe the payware one? I'm not sure, actually. Oh, good, Florian. Yeah, thanks for the help. Oh yeah, that's another very good comment. So he's asking what side stick I'm using. So even though it looks like a real A320 side stick, it's still a base Thrustmaster Warthog base. It just has FS Project's flight stick, Airbus flight stick, Captain side on it, and also the rubber. Let's see if you can see that, but the rubber. On that as well, just on the real Airbus. So, but again, the base is a Warthog from Thrustmaster. Team Solid Core. So this comes with the FENIX. So this is already included. You can get rid of it. So if you don't like to have it, you can get rid of it by clicking on the microphone there. That's oh, now I've killed it. Can I restart it? Oh no. I didn't know you killed your EFB with that. Oh no, you don't. Disregard. It was just a test, guys, sorry. False alarm. I didn't kill it. Ich bin's Flo, Black Box, are your flaps working? My flap axis not working with the Bravo on the FENIX. Yeah, it's working. I can't test it now, but I tested it this afternoon. It was working just fine. What addons do you have for FS2 crew? Well, I have pretty much, I have the Mad Dog, I have now the PNG 737, I have the FENIX. Here in Microsoft, those three I have. Yeah, Edgy, it is FS Projects. Let's see if it's this or FS. I'll give the link for that, hold on. The side sticks, the only thing really that I dislike about this is that the side stick is it's plastic, it's not metal, but it's a strong plastic, so it doesn't feel cheap or anything, but it just doesn't feel exactly like the real stick, because the real stick would be made of metal. But it has, you know, the autopilot disconnector button, it has the push to talk switch, and the size is 1:1 to the real stick. Yeah, so we talk about the side stick, Bob. Yeah, so the side stick should be fsprojects.eu. I'm trying to find a good third-party EFB to use for Microsoft Secures. Okay, yeah. No, third-party, Unless it's like one that you can use with an iPad or something. Cool. Oh, no worries, Bob. All good. Thanks for the help. Right, let's quickly go through the specifics regarding Pamplona. So, actually, let's go through the normal chart first of all. So let's have a look at the charts here. You have cheapest with the TCA Captain, looks fine for FENIX. Yeah, that's also fine. Like I said, you know, I'm not saying mine is the best. It's just I've had the Warthog for a very long time, and I just had the add-on for that. And then the Bravo throttle quadrant, and just for me, it's just as a flight simmer that uses different flight sims. The Bravo throttle quadrant is just the most versatile that I found. But again, not saying the setup I have is the best. I'm not saying that. No. So approach, let's go and have a look here. So if you look at the approach chart, you can see that you have high terrain all around the airport. So it's another one just like Bilbao. It's one of those airports that has that lies in the valley, and whenever you have that, you're going to have issues with wind and turbulence, possibly wind shear. Now, this airport particularly has a valley, and it's called the Carrascal Valley, or Carazal. I don't know how to pronounce it in Spanish, but Carazal, almost Caramba. So Carazal Valley to the south here. So the normal prevailing wind is from the northwest, and so here, through the valley there, you have a Venturi effect. And so that causes extra turbulence and possible wind shear. How much longer do we have? Actually, hang on, can we... There are some commands available. Let me just check here. Commands. Hold on. Let me just go and... ATC bot is enabled. Yeah, about 40 minutes, yeah, I would say. Good, so that's one thing to look out for. Currently, the weather is as follows. So we have, let's just review that. We have 280 at 2, so it's not a strong wind. I wouldn't really expect any bad turbulence from that today. But we are going to do the circling 3-3. And that's being done in the east of the airport because it says not authorized west of the runway. So it has to be east, which is kind of peculiar because we have the city to the east of the airport. So where are we? We are currently... going to overfly Toulouse in a few minutes. So here's the routing. We departed from Torino in Italy, and we're going to to Pamplona, which is a little bit southeast of Bilbao. And here we got Toulouse coming up there. Yeah, TV. I guess not today, but there we go. All right, so also what we determine now is our circling altitude, which is going to be category Charlie aircraft, 3,600 feet. If you want to round up, you can go 3,700. I'll stick to 3.6. And the elevation is about 1,500, so that's already 2,100 feet above the ground. So fairly high up. Now there's a ridge line there, and you see the ridge line on this picture. It's this ridge line here, and to the east you have a very high terrain with a mountain. I think that's 4,000 feet or something. Let me just check the next chart. There we go. So that's the terrain, the high terrain, and that has around 4,000 feet. So the circling being, so this is north, this is south, so we're circling east of the airfield. And so 3,600 feet pattern altitude, around 2.5 mile offset, maybe 3, will bring you close to that little lake. So I'm going to pass over the city, turn outbound. And since you are a lot higher up and you are not able to do a normal timed pattern because of the terrain there, you're going to have to start your descent just getting close to that ridge line. And just be aware that ridge line peak is around 2,000 feet, so yeah, be careful with that. So don't go lower than 3,000 feet altitude crossing that. Once you're past that, continue to descend and aim for about 2,600 feet here at the base somewhere. And then you see a factory or greenhouses or whatever these are. I think it's a factory. You want to be aiming for that and then turn final. And then it'll be round about here. There's a motorway junction where you should have about 600 feet above the elevation, so about 2,100 feet. Right, and you should be able to see the party lights. Now, be careful though. This is one of the things, again, I do not understand when you have an airport add-on maker come out. I'm just wondering, aren't they not able to change the position of the party lights from the Microsoft standard position? Because they have modeled the display threshold, but the party lights are exactly at the display threshold, which is, you know, stupid. Because they should be at the touchdown zone. They should be here, and they are actually here. So they're absolutely useless, because they're going to bring you right to the touchdown, to the threshold. You're not supposed to touch down before the threshold, but that's where you risk going if you use the party lights. So be aware of that. So initially for, you know, some... Well, go with like 3 white and 1 red. So if you go with three white, 1 red, I think you're going to be all right for the touchdown zone. Right, so that's the theory of the pattern. Now, regarding the particulars, so there's only ILS approaches for runway 15. There's a VOR approach runway 33, which you're not normally allowed to do and use. It has some special requirements to be able to fly that. So that's why we're flying a 15 with the circling today. There's no stars published. Madrid radar expects you to be 170 at the boundary. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And then expect a standard approach out of Pamplona VOR. There is possibly no radar coverage over at the airport itself. I'm not sure how VATSIM simulates that. And then expect a standard approach out of Pamplona VOR. Landing distance available straight in 15 would be 2,205. Runway 33 with that displaced threshold is only at 1,905. When you approach 15, optical illusion, 3.4 degree glide path intercepting a upslope runway gives you the optical illusion that you are too high. Yeah, that should be giving you that you're too high. And also, whenever you're below the circling altitude, terrain clearance is not assured. So visually, you have to make sure you don't bump into any of these obstacles here. A good tip is if you put a go-around acceleration altitude of 5,000 feet in the MCU FMS, you then have the advantage that you're not going to be in an acceleration phase too early, because you do want to have that tight turn until you go back to the Papa beacon there. No, they've not. So the Papi, Old Man Bishop, we'll see that, and I have updated everything. So I'm up to date in Microsoft Flight Sim. Lorith, if you're anything as large as the 320, I don't think Microsoft will really, yeah, probably. But sometimes, depending on the wind, you can get some weird drops sometimes. Also, one thing I noticed today, if you're going panning around, It does stutter from time to time, so that's probably Microsoft related. Exactly what's happening there, but yeah. Something's changed with the last update. Do you have the add-on, Old Man Bishop? So the payware add-on that came out for Pamplona? I think there's MAN behind there. Let's look at the routing again. So, there we go, approaching Toulouse. No scenery, okay. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know why. I mean, they have their own beta testers. Why a airport beta tester would approve of those PARPI lights being completely in the wrong place, for runway 33 that is. You know, why they allow that to go through, I don't know. It just is beyond me. Unless they can't, you know, repair it for some reason. But, yeah. I find that pretty lame, that they can't do anything on that. So, we'll do a visual approach, transition level is gonna be... Are you sure they have beta testers? Well, maybe not. So we'll do about 7,000 transition level, or 7.5. So decision altitude is going to be 3.6. Oh, so that's above ground level. That's about 2,114 feet, and that's going to be 3.6. Airport elevation 1,500. Water level no. Threats, terrain, obviously. Let's try runway. Yeah, so the thing with the FPS is, obviously I would love to use the frame generation option because it does boost the FPS to 100. So what you get at your monitor is actually a lot of FPS and very smooth simulation. I'm really surprised in how well that actually works. However, since we don't have anything perfect in flight sims, whenever you activate DX12 to use the frame generation, you get airports that are messed up with the ground textures. It doesn't happen everywhere, but it happens quite often. So, yeah, like I said, you know, it's not perfect. So, what do you expect? Hey, forward, good evening. Cool. So let's do a couple of things here. So before I forget, so we've got a performance page. So we've got a cruise page. Got the descent page, we've got the approach page, which all of you know, and then if we go one further, we have the go around page. So we'll do the thrust reduction, let's say at 2,800, a little bit higher but not much higher, but the acceleration we'll do at 5,000 feet. Alright, so all that's doing now is that it's delaying the acceleration phase until we hit 5,000, and that will be somewhere in that turn, and then we are definitely above at least the first contour layer. So here, look at that. So 4,300 feet. That's a very high terrain there. Barone, today you're reading an article that Aviation Herald made a report for the Ethiopian MAX. Something that I didn't know was very explained, is that pilots could not move the trim due to high... Yeah. Not directly induced by the high speed, more by the forces. Yeah, so the way that I understood that... let me see if I can maybe draw something for you guys. That's always a bit easier for me to... So it is. What's it called again? What's the app called again? It's called Air something. Yeah, AirPlay. There we go. So let's do that. Do that. Right, so AirPlay on. There we go. So now I'm not an artist by any means, but let's say you have your stabilizer at the rear of the aircraft, right, with the elevators. So for the trim, you have a spindle. What do you call it? Spindle? What's a spindle? So like a screw, right? So you would have a motor that then have a connection to the stabilizer, which then would move that up and down, right? Now, imagine that the stabilizer gets... it was nose up, wasn't it? No, it was nose down. So they had to pull, right? Yeah, they had to pull. So it was nose down. So we know that it creates lift this way. And so that would be nose up. So I'm pretty sure it would be... So the stabilizer would have been more like this, correct? So the problem is the aircraft was going nose down, right? Yeah, so the aircraft was nose heavy, so it was you know, the nose was aerodynamically going down, so the pilots had to pull back on the yoke. All right, so they had to pull back in order for the aircraft not to go nosedive even more. Milton, okay, well, I am not, like I said, I'm not sure when I streamed Malmö, but I've been to Budapest 2 or 3 times. I may find it later, and I'll post that. Hey Bella, how you doing? Yeah, so they were pulling back. So what they were doing is that they were pulling back on the elevator, right? So they were going on the elevator, you know, pulling back. So the elevator was deflected. And so, what you mean what the guy is that? It's easy. That's the stabilizer. Right, that's the screw that that changes the pitch of the stabilizer through the trim mechanism. And so it was nose up trim. So the nose down trim. So the aircraft was going nose down from the pitch moment, and the pilots had to pull back on the yoke, which meant the elevator was deflected upwards. All right, so. The problem is that in this constellation, at this connection to that, the big screw where the stabilizer is connected to had a lot of force on it, right? So, so when they tried to manually through the kind of the cable connection. Right, from the cockpit, from the trim wheels in the cockpit, the cable connection, the forces was just too great for them to physically move the trim wheel, and that's something it seems the engineers didn't think about. So when they had a checklist saying that switch off MCAS so that you gain manual control, hey Captain Danny, manual control over the stabilizer trim, and then manually trim the stabilizer back to the normal position, neutral position, right? That was not possible. So that was the sad thing, that they did the procedure, but because of the forces that were on that screw, they were unable to actually do the procedure as they were told to do. And so every time that they switched back the MCAS to have electric trim, the trim inputs from the MCAS quickly put the stabilizer back to nose down. So they were pretty much doomed. And I think that's how I understood it. I hope I got that right. But that's something, when I heard about that, oh, look at the clouds, beautiful. I was actually quite shocked as well to hear that they studied their procedures and they still were not able to save the aircraft and everyone on board. Yeah, I find that pretty shocking as well, absolutely. I cannot imagine the feelings, the relatives, parents, etc., are having. Those that lost their loved ones in that accident. I cannot relate. I just cannot imagine what they must feel towards Boeing. That is. I know my artistic capabilities are very limited, but yeah, but I have fun with it, so you guys just have to accept that. Right, I was gonna go. Yeah, Box Rocks. I know, right? Hey, Yoda. So Yoda, how was your Christmas? Did you have to work a lot, or were you able to spend some time at home with the family? Tiviru Benjo, the problem was that the MCAS was just trimming automatically too fast. So when they switched off MCAS to gain control manually, it was already such a mistrim that they physically couldn't overcome that anymore. Started again. Okay, cool. Right. Enough food. Bob, I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I hope you didn't have to do that all alone. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody wants to buy that, but hey, you never know. Yeah, so Dancy, exactly, that's how I understood it as well, right? So your checklist tells you not to turn the electric trim back on, but I don't know what the checklist looked like before the max crash, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, same for me. And how it's a... Hey, look, how you doing? Right. Oh, my headset just went and not see it. Okay, so there we go. So let's do that again. Retrieving meta. There's no ATIS for Pamplona. It's still the same. And fuel check wise, where are we? Oh, we're just over Toulouse here. Ah, look at that. There's the airport. What a timing. Hyro in Hong Kong, hello to you. I believe I read recently that Boeing had updated the MCAS system software so that when the manual cut was engaged, the system will reset to neutral position before disconnecting the motor. Okay, well that's interesting. Well, I mean, I would think that they would change something. Obviously because the system as it was during the Ethiopian crash cannot, you couldn't leave that running as it was. So there needed to be a change. And so what you're writing, Hyro, obviously does make sense. If that's physically possible, obviously, then yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, Bob, as always, best wishes. And did you? Oh, hang on, but Bob, did you say you have your PC back now, so you can go back to flight simming? 280 at 211 degrees. So let's go 80 at 2, and we're going to put 3,600 there for the circling bar row. Oh, that's cool, Bob. That's fantastic. Right, we've got the descent coming in about 60 miles. Ordering medium. We're gonna calculate the performance, but we know that there are some peculiar. And I know that my company only flies to Pamplona with an A319, so they don't do anything else apart from 319. So runway 33. Apply the METAR. That's good. Expected landing weight is 61.5, let's say. 61.5, and then we've got ordering medium. Okay, so landing is available. That's pretty good. So that's correct, and we have a required of, include the factor, 15%, 1672, and so. We have a little bit of buffer of about 200 feet, well, 150 feet roundabout. No, 200 feet, right? 230, yeah. So 235 feet, meters, 235 meters of buffer. But still, we don't have room to go and flare for too long. Perhaps 4. More interesting would normally be in real life the climb gradients that you can reach. And so obviously in real life what we have to calculate is the missed approach gradient single engine. Because we need to make sure that with the current weight of the aircraft, with the current environmental conditions, that we are able to climb out this aircraft with a single engine and use a special procedure. So either the normal procedure or the engine up procedure for runway 15. That's a speed reference system, and I actually have got a command for that. Hang on. There we go. That's SRS. When you have climb gradients in percent, you need to translate them into gradients. So percent times 5 normally gives you then the required vertical speed. But if I'm not wrong, I think I have a rule of thumb for that on my website. Let me just check that. So let's go rule of thumb. So let's have a look here. So when you go to my website, you go to, let's go again. So we go to rule of thumb. You have different options there. So you have a conversion from a gradient. So the rate of climb in feet per minute will be gradient times the ground speed. So let's say you're doing 150 knots ground speed and you need a 4% gradient. You need at least 600 feet per minute climb. So here we've got a 4% climb gradient here, 150 knots. It's obviously, yeah, 6, oh, exactly, that's what I've just been told you. So 600 feet per minute, right? So you have some rule of thumb that you can use to translate that into feet per minute. Yeah, and so you're referring to this, right? So the minimum for the straight-in ILS also depends on your missed approach gradient that you can do. Right? So single engine, A320, 3% is quite a lot, actually. So 3%, let's say, times 150 knots ground speed, 405 feet per minute, and that also needs to be able to be maintained in the turn. So straight out, 500 feet per minute doesn't really mean much, right? But in the turn, 500 feet per minute, single engine, are fairly high. Yeah, climb gradient. So the percentage, so the amount. So for each mile, you need 3% climb. Yeah. So it's just telling you how much, and I'm pretty sure somewhere. Let's just check something. Normally, so there we go. So for misapproach based on this 11.1a. Let's see, 11. Ah, no, it's just for the 2.5. So 2.5% climb gradient, you have another set of minimums to be able to use. What? I've just given you an example. So look, so for me as a pilot, what I need to know is what gradient, or what the gradient means for me in terms of feet per minute, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is, in the real world performance calculator, you get a value. So you get a value printed out for the all engine go around and the engine out go around. You get a climb value, which you don't get in the FENIX. Right, so that's the disadvantage you flight simmers have. Right, look, so this is something that gives you that, well, I'm not sure what's so confusing. So you have a certain distance, right? And you have your obstacles, and for that you need a 2.5% gradient. How it's certain? No, I mean, for you flight simmers, you don't have the luxury of getting, you know, a performance calculator that gives you also the climb gradient that I have in real life. So there we go. So it gives you, yeah. Exactly, so a certain distance, and you need to have a certain altitude, and that gives you a climb gradient. That was a line in the movie Tropical Thunder. Okay, I didn't know that. I've seen Tropical Thunder, but I've not... I can give you the link for that if you're interested in... there's a discussion going on. But I don't have the time to go through everything in detail here. So I need to prepare for the approach. Actually, we need to descend as it is. Alright, so down we go, and we did say at the boundary was supposed to be 170, which is probably going to be difficult to do now. So we'll do that with thrust idle up descent, and the boundary is route for the high airways. Yeah, so the boundary actually to Madrid is in here, and our waypoint is Iraqi, it seems. So Iraqi should be 170. So I can put this in here like that, 170 insert, and then that way we should get a good path now. Doesn't look too bad, so we're not that far behind, it seems. Yeah, so the missed approach procedure regarding in the circling. So this is where either you have a balked landing procedure available in the approach chart. Otherwise, you're going to have to make up your mind. So when you're in the circling and you have to go around, in this case, I would say it's simple going straight ahead, outbound on the localizer towards Pamplona beacon. And then we're going to climb 5,000 again and join the holding. Does it say that somewhere in the charts? Hey, DeFlorus, how you doing? Oh, Lido charts. Lol. GG Lido charts. Yeah, there we go. So straight ahead again. So the instrument missed approach. So if at any point we would abort the instrument approach, we would need to go and cross the runway until 1.6, then turn left again, max 175 knots, and I go to Papa beacon, and we're going to climb 5,000. I'm going to cross that locator at 4,000 or above. Very important there. Good. Let's get some speed brakes out, because I do want to be 170 there. And let's just increase also the descent speed. But currently, well, we're at speed now, so let's put 300 knots in there. There we go. So now we are managing the descent speed to 300 knots. And that will bring us very quickly towards the correct path again. Are you ready for the approach brief? Go ahead. Right, so I mean, we've been going through the approach procedure per se. So again, Pamplona. We'll join depending on the traffic obviously, but if there isn't traffic ahead of us, we'll go and join that procedure. So outbound 35, oh no, Madrid 3375. Madrid, muy buenas, windmill 711, passing 233, descending 170.
Windmill 711, buenas tardes, squawk 4475.
4475 on the squawk, windmill 711. So I'm going to take that to below now, actually.
Delta 61 Tango, contact Bajas Tower. Frequency 118.15, happy landing. Hello, mate.
Beautiful. Right, so we talked about the threats, terrain, etc., so don't go through all that again. Taxi in, that's interesting. So taxi in, the problem is we have to do a backtrack. So the runway width is 45 meters.
Descent flight level 80. And
so we can.
Divas 2 Delta.
You have MCK. Oh, there we go.
09er.
How are you doing, MCK? Hope you had a good Christmas. So we'll do a turn on the runway, backtrack,
approach runway 0
and get off Alpha to the apron there. Any questions?
No questions.
There we go. Oh, you're flying Wuling again. Wuling. Wuling. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly, I know. But hey. I know, again, what a beautiful countryside. And look at that.
Well, if I do Vista Foxtrot, reading U5. Fever 517, identify flight level 380.
So, RATNAV.
Roger.
So let's
Wind
go.
lead 711, identify flight level 190, continue descending. Flight level 70, expect runway 15.
Okay, descent level 70, expect runway 15, windmill 711. Yeah, so 70. Let's put terrain on. Oh no.
Ryanair 4402, 1F2 Delta for runway 32 right, descent flight level 210.
I'm planning to land on 33, so I'm planning to do circling. Yeah, so the green dot speed that you see on the speed. Oh, this green dot. No, this is the path.
Ryanair
the
2
optimum descent path. So right now it's telling me I'm still about 1,000 feet too high.
Departure, out from runway 29er.
So I'm going to do the speed brakes out, trying to get on path. The green dot on the left side, that's the best, well, glide speed you can say. So it's the speed where you have the minimum drag.
Ryanair 2 Hotel Quebec, confirm VADOX 5 Alpha. Ryanair 2 Hotel
So there we go.
read back
We're coming into the VDEF path there.
Tomjet 7 Kilo Hotel, leaving my space, monitor Unicorn, goodbye.
Now, I want to be Pamplona. It says minimum of 6,000 feet. So I can go and
Boeing 693, buenas tardes, please squawk 4461.
put that in there. So I'm going to put, yeah, it's actually there already. So speed 185, 6,000 or above. So it's already planning with that.
Ryanair 4712,
So this is the speed reduction for level 100.
118.15. Good day and happy landing.
Over the tower, Ryanair 4712.
Exactly, Lorith, yeah.
Well,
So be aware.
Identify,
Well, it's not really the best glide speed. No, it's not the best glide speed. It's the speed where you have the least amount of descent rate. Or otherwise, you could say that you have the least drag, meaning that you use the least amount of fuel. So that's holding speed, for example.
Boeing 52 Vista Foxtrot, good evening. You are clear to Malaga file via Amtos 4 Bravo departure out from runway 12. Initial flight level 80, squawk 4426.
Does the FENIX have an autosave feature? No. Unfortunately not, no.
There to destination, departure Amtos 4 Bravo, runway
LD max, Crown. So LD, so lift to drag. Depending on how you put the axes. Yeah, LD max, exactly.
Well, if I 2 Vista Foxtrot, read back correct. Welling 693, expect ILS Zulu approach, runway 15 at Pamplona.
Wow, that's just
expecting ILS Zulu, runway 15,
that, it's just gorgeous.
Battery control, good evening. Right now is 85 Whiskey inbound. Inbound PNX flight level 360.
No, 85 Whiskey, buenas tardes, please squawk 4476.
Squawk 4476. Right now is 85 Whiskey.
Alrighty, slowing down.
Iberia 383, leaving my space, monitor Unicorn, goodbye.
Now we don't have to cross the VOR at 6,000, but I would prefer to slow down to make that turn. Unless we get holding instruction. But I'm going to put the speed now to select it. And let's go put that to green dot first of all. So when you're flying holding patterns, you're not interested in getting far. You're trying to maximize the time that you have available with your fuel on board. So the least amount of drag, maximum amount of lift.
Renault 85 Whiskey, confirm scope code 4476.
So, we'll do the turn outbound, intercept that radial.
76 right now.
Hey, greetings to Kenya, how are you doing?
Ryanair 4402, flight level 140.
But we need to approach clearance, we don't have that yet.
Renault 85 Whiskey, identify flight level 360.
So we've got to be careful. Windmill 711 is approaching Pamplona. Just confirm we cleared the ILS approach.
Windmill 711, affirm you are clear for ILS Zulu approach, runway 15. Report when established, descent to 5,000 feet by QNH 1029er.
Alright, descent 5,000, code procedure 1029, that is QNH, cleared for the ILS 15. Be aware, we are planning to fly the circling 33. Whoops.
Confirm, are you circling for runway 33?
Affirmative, Windmill 711.
711, I said you active runway is runway 15.
Yes, but I have some tailwind it seems like, and so with the aircraft weight, we would prefer runway 33.
Copies, proceed for circling for runway 33. Report.
Yeah, muchas gracias. I report breaking off to the circling, Windmill 711. Whoops. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Yeah, I should have told him that earlier.
1029 set, passing
Europe 218,
7,100.
Cooking Charlie.
Checked.
Now.
Checklist.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1029.
Lufthansa 548, leaving our space, monitor Unicorn, goodbye.
1029 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
Europa 218, identified.
Barrow 3600 feet set. Set and checked.
Auto brake.
Medium set.
Buenas noches, Ryanair 7, Lima Papa, with you again.
Medium set. Set and checked.
Ryanair
Engine
7,
mode
Lima Papa,
selector.
good evening.
Normal.
Approach checklist
Identified.
completed.
Right, so, let's have a look for the scenery. Oh, that's just absolutely amazing.
Tráficos en frecuencia,
Right, so we are
Madrid,
already...
radar, tierra, servicio por hoy. Continúen en Unicorn 2280, feliz vuelo a todos, break. Traffic in frequency, Madrid radar is closing, please. Continue monitoring Unicorn, enjoy your flight, goodbye.
Right, so he's closing. Right, so we'll call in a second. One thing I want to do is let's put Lima Echo Papa Papa at 33 in here. And that's one thing, so I have the DME distance. Then on the flight plan page, I want to put the same thing. And then outbound radial 152, so that I have a centerline fix. Right, outstart. So 5,000. Outbound until 8, which we have already passed. So we'll go down to 4,700 now. Although, I mean, we don't have to do that immediately. Yeah, we can do that nice and gentle. And look at the amount of terrain around this airport. absolutely mind-boggling and absolutely beautiful. Dancy in the Central we usually don't fly in ILS for circling approach because, well, you mean you would fly that in localizer mode? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the same. MCK, I'm allowed to fly Pamplona now, so, but it's a class B for us. But I am allowed to fly there now. They changed that a couple of weeks back. Yeah, a couple of weeks back. I remember I was surprised as well. I'll start.
Radar altimeter alive.
Yep. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
So we should be turning now. Let's see. Actually, let's do the turn here on ourselves. Don't know why it's flying outbound that far. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll dial in the 3600. So that we use localizer mode. So we've got lock blue with the ILS identified. Gonna go and intercept heading here. Well, actually, let's go direct to this one here. There we go, enough. Absolutely beautiful. What a gorgeous approach. Right, 4,700. That's where we're going to intercept the glide slope at 8.6, but we'll fly that with flight path angle. Or yeah, let's do flight path angle. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to do is I want to draw a circle around that of 3 miles, so that I know I'm not supposed to go outside of that. So let's go lock again. So lock blue, lock star. Here's the glide slope. It's a bit steeper than normal. There's the runway, so we'll see if the aircraft handles all right, but it shouldn't be a problem really. So 3.4 degrees. Right, track FPA. Get rid of the flight tractors here. And let's go start descend here at 3.4 degrees flight path angle. So flight path angle minus 3.4 degrees. Alt blue, 3,600. Cabin is ready, fantastic. There's the airport. There's Pamplona city. And again, we'll break off to the left. I'm going to try to be around about 2.5 miles offset. That was triple click. That's a mode degradation normally. Right, so we've got everything we need. Now we have to fly it properly. And one more word of caution again. So on the opposite side, the PARPI lights are not correct. So they intersect the threshold and not the touchdown zone. So I will be at least 3 white, 1 red. And then I try to visually get myself onto the right path.
100 above.
Let's check. Alt star.
Pamplona traffic, Welling 693, has passed initial approach leak. Papa November.
And 10711 is on final 15 for the circling 33. And we will report when the runway is clear. Continue. Runway's in sight. So that's a ridge line. Manual flight here.
I believe you have around about 7 to 8 minutes distance.
Okay, thank you. That should be fine. Good. So, missed approach. We're going to set 5,000 in here. Set. And I'm going to aim now for the downwind. I'll leave. Normally, I'll kick out the auto thrust, but just for simplification here, I'll leave that in for now. That's the lake I was talking about. So we've got a bit of an aim point now. And we're crossing right over Pamplona city. Yeah, so actually, normally what you would do is go secondary flight plan, copy the active, and then on the secondary you would put in the runway and include the performance data so that you can use the managed speed mode. That's going to be 135, the approach later on. So interestingly enough, there is a little bit of a lighter spot there. So we'll use that. Gear down.
Gear down. Cabin crew, be seated for landing.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps 4.
Speed checked. Flaps 4.
So I'm going to start a little descent here now, but we're going to be at least 3,000 feet as we cross this little ridge line. And then there's that factory building. So on the base, I want to be about 2.6. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing, no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
So 2.1. That's about 4 miles.
1,000.
1,000.
There's checked. Pamplona traffic, windmill 711 is turning right base, runway 33 in Pamplona. So let's set the power here and let's turn final. We've got 2.83 miles. I don't want to cut it too close, so aim for the western side of that that building there.
1,000.
1,000 check. Keep descending. 1,000 feet per minute. Let's turn final, and let's look for the runway. There it is. So we don't need to turn that steeply. So 1,500 is the elevation. 2.4 miles away. So we're doing all right with the altitude. And we got 2 red, 2 white. Almost perfect, but I want to be 3 white. And just, there we go. That's where I want to be. And you can see again the parapet lights are at the threshold and not the touchdown zone. I don't know why they just can't fix that to get that right.
400.
I'm just going to tad high. Let's correct that. Oh, careful. Descent
300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
There we go, we got spoilers, reverse
Spoilers.
green.
Reverse green. Decel. $70 knots.
Closing the reversers. I'm quite happy with that, to be fair, so... The airport, no. It's not default, no. Oh, come on, turn. There we go. Thank you. I know, I saw that as well, right? So if I were a beta tester, I would tell the developers and say, hey, you know what? You know, get that fixed. Yeah, but also, I mean, why are the developers not able to fix the puppy light position? Yeah, Alf, it is payware. Isn't it beautiful models of the world? I think it is. It's beautiful models of the world, Pamplona.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and the entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to our destination. For your safety, please remain
After landing
seated with
checklist.
your seatbelt fastened.
Radar and
Leaving all
predictive
items
wind
and
shear
camera
system.
can safely
Off.
stowed until the seatbelt
After
sign
landing
has been
checklist
switched off.
completed.
Before you leave the aircraft, please ensure you have all your personal items.
So I'm quite
and
happy with
luggage
that circling. So that went pretty much
Please be
according to
careful when opening
plan.
overhead lockers, as items may fall out, causing injury. We'd like to remind you that.
And like I mentioned many times before,
until you've reached
you
the
know, when you do
designated
these kind of
parking area.
approaches, be it visual approaches, be it
If you
circlings,
require assistance when you leave the aircraft,
do the
please
preparations.
contact a member of our ground staff.
You know, make a
If you're
game
connected to
plan
another flight today and hold a boarding
and
card
just stick to it.
transfer wallet,
And
advise
if it's
you
wrong,
of
it's
your
wrong.
departure
I mean, you know,
terminal.
a game
Please
plan
follow the
can be
signs to
wrong,
flight connections.
but
This
at
will
least
lead
don't
you on
second
to your
guess.
departure terminal, and please check your gate number
Yes, it
in
is,
the departure
Stefan, yeah.
lounge. To avoid missing
Pamplona
your
traffic,
flight,
windmill
we
7
strongly
on,
recommend
runway
that
is
you
clear.
go straight to your departure terminal. For those of you
Yes,
who do
copy
not have a
and
boarding card,
Pamplona
please go
traffic
directly
running
to the flight connections
693
desk.
is now
Once
descending
again,
on
ladies and
the
gentlemen, on
localized
behalf of the entire
Welcome
airline,
aboard the
back
Captain
thank you very
Black
much.
Box Twitch
Hey,
channel
that's
subscriber
P3's pilot. How you
experience.
doing?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the
Right, can we
first
get
class cabin,
GSX
where
memes
complimentary
going?
drinks,
Let's just
snacks
check
and
that.
premium
GSX.
flight entertainment will be served. Thank
Ramp.
you.
Let's go.
Been
Position
arges.
2. I hope that wasn't something dirty. Oh no! Now I get it. It's been ages. Lol. What is this? Is that new? Can you show it again, please? I'm not sure I saw that. Can we have that again, please? Because again, I'm not 100% sure if I saw that correctly. So show me the spot. Oh, there it is. Ah, yeah. I mean, I almost missed that. What happened to my follow me? I was gonna look for the follow me and enjoy the memes.
Welcome aboard the
So
Captain
first of all,
Black Box Twitch channel subscriber
P3D
experience.
pilot, Dutch
Could new
P3 pilot.
subscribers
That way
please
round.
make your way to the
Thank you
first
so
class
much for
cabin,
your support.
where complimentary
Thanks for
drinks,
30 months. I
snacks
hope you had a
and
wonderful
premium flight
Christmas.
entertainment will be served.
It has been
Thank
ages,
you.
yeah.
Amazing,
Right, so-
informative content as always.
Stefan, thank you so much for the 13 months, and thank you for your support. Right, where am I supposed to park now? And how? Alright, these are the new remote-controlled baggage trucks. They don't need any human drivers anymore. It is supposed to help with the... Oh, lol. Didn't I say number 1? That doesn't matter now. Baggage drone. Or is that supposed to be my my follow me? Okay, Stefan, once again, thank you so much. Maybe Whale, thank you for the 34. I'm not sure if I call that Maybe Whale. Thank you so much for your support. And Pale also 33 months. Pale, thank you so much. I think I missed some shout outs there. So I'm supposed to go here and then stop facing that way, I would imagine. Yeah, that looks pretty alright. I think that will do nicely. Let's set the parking brake. Right, MAN, where are you? Are you in the circling already? I don't see him yet. So, has my first officer started the APU? Yes, he has. Fantastic. So, number 2.
Yes, I'm actually over the bridge at the moment.
Oh, there he is. There we go. Have a good landing. So that's all done. Fantastic. And then go that. Right, magic. Alright, so let's request deboarding.
The boarding requested.
Let's do Menzies here. And let's watch Emien's landing. There he is. And Andreas, I would assume so as well. So quite often there will be obstacle limitations or something, short final. Maybe it's due to that building there. What is that? So that could be a reason. So if you put the touchdown zone in there, then this could be an issue, I guess. So it's obstacle normally that causes the threshold to be displaced for landing. Takeoff is fine, you can take off full length. But for landing, obviously, where are the poppy lights?
Passengers deboarding started.
Alright, looks a very nice approach, man. GG. Well, it could be noise abatement as well, yes. But normally it would be obstacle. Oh, he's doing it perfectly. Nice. GG, good landing. Looked very nice. It is a short, it's a small airport, isn't it? Kind of a small apron there.
Welling, control, Pamplona traffic, Welling 693, doing a backtrack on runway 33.
Oh yeah, before I go off for the next flight, because we're going to fly from here to Ibiza, and I'm going to look at the version 2 of Simwings Ibiza now, because they have an update as well. Regarding the FSLTL just see where I have that. So I have that model matching advanced. I don't. Oh, I do. So that is a Sobo. No, I have not. FENIX. Mad Dot. That could be a reason, because it is not using FSTL or FSLTL. Ah. Right, so I need to change that. Cool. Oh! Hello, hello.
Good night, Black Box.
Maroon, thank you much for watching. Good night to you. Yeah, there will be one more flight, guys. So we're going to fly the 737, the latest version, TMDG. You gotta love that. John, because for us, it's normal standard procedure to switch off the auto thrust when we're doing manual flight. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Parking brake set.
Runway. Okay.
Off. Set and check.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Engines.
How dare you question me? Off. Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Quite a cheeky FO, isn't he? Are you sure about that?
Boarding starting.
I'll have a word with him now. Alright. So, how do you perform those realistic descents? Which one do you mean? For the approach itself? Or which part do you mean exactly? So, as always, when I do these approaches, I make a game plan. Yeah, so I just, I check the charts. So, for example, I know it says circling not authorized west of the airport, so I have to do that to the east. And then I make a game plan. So here's the runway, right? 3315. So we're coming down here. And so before the runway somewhere, I'll break off. And I'll look for the visual cues. So that lake, that little light area there on that ridge line, that's what I aim for. It's about 2.5 miles offset, which brings me into a good position for a normal visual approach, really. The only difference today was that we don't really do a timing outbound, what we normally do. It's actually more according to visual cues. And so I knew that this part here is 2 miles from the runway. And so that's about another 1.5 miles to get from that point to this point. So that's 3.5 miles. So that's why I've said I need to be around 2,600 feet here. And again, these are just kind of estimates. It's not completely scientific, but as you saw on the base, we're able to pick up the PAPI lights, and we had 2 red, 2 white. And if you have that, it's a winner, because there's no second guessing anymore. You know that you are on a very good path. Just small corrections from that point onwards, and you've won. That's it. You've won the game. And you can go and feel happy about it. The top of the send, the top of the send is given to you on one hand by the FMS. If the routing is correctly programmed, that gives you a top of the send arrow to start your descent. But also you can use a kind of a rule of thumb, and I've got another rule of thumb on my website. So when you go with where's my? Hang on. Isn't that on there yet? That's for final approach. Rules of thumb. Index. Fuel flow. Oh, I thought we had that. I need to talk to Senshai because I thought we had that. So for every mile,
crew bus is coming.
That you need to, or for each mile that you have, you will lose 300 feet. Right, so 3,000 feet on a 3-degree profile, you need about 10 miles. Right, that's how we kind of, calculate the 3-degree profile. So let's say 30,000 feet.
Pilots deboarding starting.
That's about 90 miles, plus round about 5 to 8 miles for deceleration, depending on how fast you are. Cool. Good. Alrighty. So we're gonna go and quickly stop the stream, and I'll restart the sim with PMDG, and we'll use FS2 crew, and yeah, the latest update from PMDG. Big thank you to everyone that has resubscribed or has become a new member here. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned if you would like to see the PMG 737. See you in a couple of minutes.